All right, so let's start as we always do by recapping. Not much happened last session, but we may as well recap it. So, you guys were getting close to Penrite, and then approached the dam of crashed Western ships, and you were ambushed by bandits. You fought valiantly, but the bandits were taking the ship through sheer numbers. It seems like there were at least 30 to 40 bandits attacking your crew of 15. As the battle came to a close when a Souther navy blew up and smashed through the dam of broken ships, and assailed your ship and slaughtered anyone who resisted, and imprisoned anyone who didn't, including the crew and yourselves. Horben, Pierre's dear friend, who he was teaching how to read, was pretty brutally slaughtered, silenced in front of Pierre after resisting while being brought down in the brig. And you've now been split between two cells next to each other, which is in party notes. And Junia has not necessarily befriended a guard, but has sort of made an ally with a guard whose name you actually haven't figured out yet. If you look in recap, it'll spoil it. It's not.
I've already read the recap, so
nothing.
I don't know his name.
It's not a crazy spoiler or anything. The guard got Pierre's bag and Junia's bags, and so Pierre began to perform surgery. And the guard later came back and informed them that even if they are telling the truth and that they are part of the crew, which he believes, his superiors have apparently received orders to execute all of you. And so they're setting sail for Blyson for a public execution. And so any minute, when the dam is fully cleared, the ship is going to begin setting sail southward, and should arrive at Penrite within the next few hours. You guys cannot... The time of day, when you were brought down here, it was around... We're just going to say around 5:30. Beyond that, you cannot see the sun down here, or the moon. You will probably pretty quickly begin to lose track of the specific time of day. So yeah,
sense.
Right now, it's around 5:30. You're all actually kind of hungry for some dinner, because you did not eat supper before the battle.
You're
and
not,
you just expended
people.
lots of energy.
We have
Well, I mean, the two healthy people are have an appetite. The rest, I think, your body's not focused on hunger right now, and is focused on remaining functional.
Yes.
Oh, and also, yeah, I believe Junie received some major injuries, and Rook and Tariq particularly took some critical injuries. Tariq having a bad limp in his right leg right now, and Roke, one being unconscious but responsive, and having both arms be crippled with deep wounds into his muscles and bones from arrows.
It's just a scuffed entrance for Ben. Just, he can't do anything.
Alright, so you guys are down here in the brig. It's dark, it's damp. You can hear the wood creaking and the water of the Dänemark flowing outside, and you can't really tell if the ship's moving right now or if it's stationary or what the situation is. It feels like it's certainly turning and moving around a little bit, but you can't really get a good feel for like what the ship is doing or how fast it's moving. The conditions down here are not great. It's dirty. There's blood all over the floor of both of your cells, and particularly Pierre's cell. Junia's and Graham's and the boys' cell, there's not as much blood. You see like rats scurrying around and mice, and there's dirt and grime and mystery substances stuck to the walls. You don't even know like what they are.
Okay.
Continue.
Can I do something, GM?
Yes.
Can I roll Stoic Philosophy to gauge my following actions to like either how to cope with being in here or to get out of here?
Yeah, roll stoicism, baby.
Yeah.
I love saying that. I love being able to say that. Roll stoicism.
10 out of 11. Success of 1.
You are analyzing you're trying to calm down and analyze whether or not your reaction to the situation is accurate and appropriate to reality. Appropriate to the reality of the situation. I mean, you come to the conclusion that yes, you are in fact, as you put it last session, jumbo fucked. But panicking or anything or making any rash decisions is not going to get you out of this, and that you have at least a significant amount of time before you are supposed to be taken off the ship and executed. So you have estimated at least around a week, maybe give or take a few days before getting to Blyson, depending how quickly the ship moves. You have days to heal and rest and concoct some sort of solution. And you have been in many binds before, and you're reflecting on you are surrounded by several people who have proven themselves to be very capable and very resilient, and that you're not alone. And you particularly think back to Honored, in which you watched Graham essentially lead a peasant revolt. And you I'm trying to remember specifically. I believe you personally had a role in organizing said peasant revolts, and how you all participated in the battle and were able to successfully organize and execute a coup. If you could do that, as well as solve the problems in Poi and recover your missing equipment and survive an attack by a literal mystical monster from the Golan range, and that and more, surely somehow you and as much as you and your party bicker, you all have, in ways besides maybe this mystery man, proving yourselves to be extremely capable people that can work well together as a team. And so if you all work together, you can very likely brainstorm and execute some sort of plan to save your lives and continue the quest.
Pierre's gonna sit down in the cell, cross-legged, and he's going to ponder on what the plan shall be.
So yeah, you're sitting there and you're pondering. You're all just sitting in silence, just thinking, processing what's been going on. Several minutes pass. For some of you, for Pierre, it feels like it's just been like 15 minutes. For Tariq, it feels like it's been 30 minutes to an hour. Judy and Graham, it feels like a varying amount of time depending on how much pain your character is in and how, if they're sitting down deep in thought. So none of you are really sure on how much time has really passed. And Pierre and Tariq, you're startled when Roke shakes awake. And he shakes awake and calls out the name Kadri, and starts gasping for breath as he coughs, and some blood comes out of his mouth as he coughs. Roke, you're at 1 HP now.
Bad dream.
Unfortunately, you still remain in this cell. I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
I'm going. Is that Jack?
Uh-huh.
Is that pink cloth that we used that I was biting at? Is that laying around somewhere?
Yeah.
Covered in
Yeah,
blood
the two
and stuff?
pieces of it.
I'm gonna pick it up and just kind of put it in my pocket.
Bad dream.
Yeah.
I get
Say
those
that.
too.
It's been happening quite often for the past few months.
OMG, same. Slay.
Excellent roleplay, Tariq. Plus 400 points.
Well, we have all the time in the world, Roke. Pierre comes and kind of sits. He not really sits. He kind of kneels next to you, kind of making sure you're okay health-wise, maybe checking on bandages, and then he asks, "Who's Kadri?"
Kadri was an old acquaintance of mine. I used to travel with him before we departed ways.
Is he safe?
Still,
Far from here, I hope.
most likely, I would say he is far away from here.
So, Roke, tell us about you. Maybe we'll trade information for information. I'm not sure if you know much about us. I don't know how much you and Tariq have talked.
All I really know about you guys is that you're following the prophecy to awaken him, aren't you?
Rogue, I hate to break it to you, it's gone for us, but I think that you're part of this too now.
Don't want to be a part of this. Are you guys even sure you're a part of this? Are you really sure?
The gods have said so.
We've been asking.
And
I've been asking that question for a long time, and it's not really a matter of whether or not I'm sure. It's a collective agreement that either outside entities think that we're the prophecy, or that people around us have, and that's enough.
I've seen you before, Rogue.
Do you perhaps
Many a
see
time.
See me in a dream, perhaps?
Yes, actually. How did you know?
Scott Pilgrim-esque.
Let me tell you a little story about me. Not very long ago, actually. There was a woman, quite beautiful, fairly young, approached me, said the same thing to me. She'd seen me in a dream, that I would go on an adventure with her, awaken the God Emperor, but I did not get very far. We parted ways.
You're
I
good.
no longer believe that I am part of anyone's dream, anyone's prophecy.
Were you part of a false prophecy? Were you trying to... I'm trying to interpret what you were saying.
I don't know.
Are you saying that you were part of the... before?
Are you saying this in character? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm
Alright. Perhaps, but I do not believe I was. I don't know if it was false or not, but actually, it probably was false because we parted ways quite some time ago.
Did you get to meet a Westerling?
Westerling, yes, I did. There was one of our party. His name was John, if I remember correctly.
John?
His name was not John.
His name is John. I know there was one, but I never had a name for him. What's a name that I can add?
John is a very fake Westerling name.
Yeah. Okay,
He was
let me
definitely
start
just
over.
doing blackface.
What is it? What's the name I could use?
His name was Onim.
His name, yes, we had a Westerling in our party. His name was Onim. Very nice gentleman.
I haven't seen another Westerling in a really long time.
I have seen very few of them myself. It hurts me to see that my people, these Suther soldiers, are treating people in that way, in such a terrible way.
It's okay not to be proud of your own countrymen. You do not choose where you come from, but you can choose whether you respect their values. Sorry, I want to get clarification. How long is this river in length? It's way too long to fake swim, right?
Oh wait,
Like
in
doggy
width?
paddle?
In
Could I
width?
doggy
Yeah.
paddle this thing?
Width from well, I guess since we're in a
varies.
boat, so the radius, or not the the radius.
Yeah. I get what you're asking. It varies. At most, many yards, hundreds and hundreds.
Oh yeah, so multiple football. Wow.
At its thinnest points, probably 100-yard in radius.
So close to the Amazon River, just in size, in terms of.
Yeah, I don't really know how rivers work, but
But this one's a big one.
I feel uncomfortable making it huge, but
Well, if you say this is the river of as much commerce as it's been provided, I would...
remember at its thinnest point, okay, 100 yards in radius is the length of a football field in radius, meaning it is 2 football fields wide.
Yeah,
It's still pretty wide for a river. So you would need to swim a football field's length.
Yeah, another option could be, I don't think I can do much in my current condition, but if I could get propped up against the door and you start talking with the guard, I could maybe pocket keys off of them. I've pocketed things off people before. This might be a possibility.
Pity I'm not great with my tongue. I'm not great at talking. Distracting people in that manner. Roke, do you have any surprising skills that may
Yeah, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
aid us in this?
My friend, I am an expert tonguesman. I can caress anyone to give me anything.
Fucking
Like
Astarian.
that sentence.
I remember that line for the bedroom, man.
Tonguesman.
My lady, I'm an expert tonguesman.
I can caress and like, oh.
Well, you've sold me,
I don't know if
Roke.
that's chills in a good way or a bad way.
I'm fully convinced.
Okay, so yeah, hours pass. Pierre's observing. Tariq eventually stumbles into unconsciousness.
Oh, great.
Unia eventually goes to sleep. Graham has been very quiet and uncharacteristically, of course. And after a while of just sitting silently and thinking, and what's the word? Hours of brooding. Eventually, he is the last one to fall asleep before Pierre. Also, well, before Pierre and Rogue also at some point falls asleep.
Do I have to roll? Do I have to roll? Check. Actually.
Yeah, roll. So roll for nightmares.
Yeah.
No, I have insomnia.
Oh.
Insomnia and nightmare. Oh god.
Womp womp.
Well, they actually go well
I-
because if he can't sleep, he can't have nightmares.
Yeah, you know.
I'm
you're right.
actually kind of down with having another party member with nightmares, just so we both can be
Do
fucked up in the
you-
morning.
Okay, so how do I do it?
You know what?
36.
This will be the beginning of an episode. So
Hell yeah.
Roke is actually the last one to fall asleep. Pierre, would you trust him enough to be willing to fall asleep before him?
No.
That's what I'm thinking. So you and Roke are you see that Roke is not sleeping as he sits against the wall, even in all this pain. Everyone else on the ship has fallen asleep. You hear the occasional cough and like groan of pain as you hear like various bandits and members of the crew dying down here in the brig. Like you literally hear the wails of dying men in the distance, and lots of coughs, and you hear like people vomiting in their buckets and pissing, and you hear like a fight break out as you just like hear two people yelling. One has a very, very thick northern accent, the other is likely from the west, as they're yelling, and you hear like stumbling, like throwing around, and like a cell like 3 cells down. The two of you are sitting here, not in the silence of the ship, but with the sounds of the ship surrounding you, but you're both sitting in silence next to each other in the darkness as the torches are the torches and candles and lanterns that are keeping the place lit up have all been put out by the guards, and so you are sitting in actually complete darkness down here in the brig. The only source of light coming from the stairway that is so far down that none of the light reaches your cell. So you guys are sitting in complete darkness here in the brig.
Can I light a candle? I
Yeah.
have one. I'll light a candle and I'll move closer to Roke, and I'll take out the writings of Mad Harari.
Oh, forgot about that. Do you want to like talk to Roke to preface reading it out loud to him, or are you just gonna pull out the book and just start
Here,
going?
I'll have an interest. I'll say, thank you for providing some light. What is that you're reading?
I honestly can't remember where I picked this up.
Sure. I think the Grand Master of the Clerical Order gave it to you.
Do you know? I'm sure you're familiar with clerics of the sort. Have you met a cleric before?
Roke, roll IQ for me. When you see the cover of the book is like black with it's like black leather with the purple green symbol of Uttar Car on the front, and then on the back there's nothing. The symbol being a tower with an eye, like a purple tower with a green and purple eye in the tower. And you know that this is a very you know that you've seen this book before, and you remember you've heard of it before, and you know that like it's important or something, or very famous, and obviously it has something to do with the God Emperor, but you don't remember it like beyond anything beyond that.
I picked this up from the headmaster cleric. He had gave it to me as a gift. And I've been reading it ever since. I'm just starting a new section now, as a matter of fact. It's a small section of chapters about the Westerlands. I saved it towards the end because, well, it's one of the shorter ones. I wanna save it for closer to the last.
I'm having trouble sleeping. Maybe would you be okay with reading just a couple passages?
Oh, of course. Pierre closes the book after reading us a few excerpts, and looks over to you, Rogue. Tell me, Tariq spoke about you before, quite often. What do you know about the Astarian Green Jay?
I know nothing about the Astarian Green Jay. I do remember that captain of my bandit crew did have one. I think he boasted about it. He's boasted about it being from Astarian. What is it, Asteria?
From the east.
From the east. Said it was very rare. Know why that bird stuck around him so much.
Yeah, actually, I've read about it before. I was, a while ago, Tariq said they had seen it in a dream. They'd never seen it before, but if they saw it in a dream, I explained to them what they possibly could have seen. It was a Astarian Green Jay. So, even from that moment, Tariq was having a dream about you, the encounter with the bandits. In some sort of divine providence, you made your way to our doorstep.
You believe in these dreams your friend has?
I think it's no matter of coincidence that a man who has never seen or heard of a Green Jay before, seeing one in a dream, and not more than a month later, encounters the man she has been seeing alongside a Green Jay.
Take your word for it.
You close the book and you close the candle, and you both try to get some sleep. But Pierre, you're still troubled by the burden of trying to lead the prophecy out of this situation. By far, maybe not by far, but clearly the rockiest situation you found yourself in, the lowest point the prophecy has hit. And then Roke, just so much going on in conflict with your past as well. You are very much struggling to fall asleep as well. Tariq, throughout the night, you are haunted of visions of you're just in this endless cycle of being on the boat and fighting and falling off and sinking and not knowing how to crawl out of the water. And just as you gasp for your last breath, you constantly reawake on the ship, soaked from head to toe, with sword in hand, and you stand up, and every time you're just slightly more tired. And this cycle repeats dozens of times in which you're fighting for your life, and you're eventually you're kicked off, you're stabbed and then thrown off, your face is like slashed with the sword, and then you trip over the railing, but you always find yourself fought towards the edge of the boat and then fall off into the water, unable to swim, sinking. And just as your vision begins to close, you're suddenly and you're gasping and your lungs are filling with water. They're suddenly filling with air as you open your eyes, and you're soaked from head to toe on the top of the on the deck of the ship, and re-entering battle. And there's a constant torrent of combat and drowning and falling and tense, stressful combat throughout the night. And you awake, you do not feel refreshed. You've been tormented throughout the night. Roll H. Yeah, okay, so everyone roll HT. If you're missing any injury, roll HT to regain health. Tariq, you're at HT -1.
Yeah, because that's what Nightmares does, right? When it's
14.
fail.
I don't know if that is what Nightmares does, but
When you crit fail Nightmares, you have a -1 to every roll for the next day. On a usual fail with
Is it
It's your
every
normal-
roll? Oh my god!
Yeah, that's what a crit fail does.
You're all dealing with emotional mental turmoil right now, and some like half of you, more than half of you, are dealing with extreme physical turmoil as well. It's going great. Never been better.
Hooray.
Welcome to the party, Rogue.
Welcome to the jungle.
Junia and Graham, you both awake first. Junia, you awake, and Graham's already been awake for you have no idea how long. The other three seem to be still asleep. You don't hear any movement in their cell.
Morning, Graham.
You see that the torches down here have already been lit, and there's already guards in front of the cells walking around. There's like
Anything
3 down
new?
here right now.
How long you've been up?
I don't know, an hour or so.
Feeling a little better at least, but did the guy come back? I'm one that, like,
No, I've not seen him.
oh, let's hope he wasn't executed for just coming to see us at all.
He gives you a stern look after you say that.
So, how is there any other cells than ours, like that we can see?
Yes, there's many that you can see. You can see the one next to you.
Is there anyone alive in there?
You see a literal skeleton, and and you see a man who died holding his own intestines.
You know, that's,
He's slumped against the wall with his intestines in his hands.
So, Pierre, you got any idea what we're gonna do? The guy hasn't came back.
Tariq and Roke, you also awake by now. You awake with the yeah. The sound of them talking has woken both of you up.
Honestly, Junia, I'm thinking about praying a little later today.
Pierre, did I just hear you say that you were gonna pray?
The day I pray is gonna be the day I die. Then again, I may.
Lad, there may not be anything else for us to do other than pray. Just
I'm
to
with
let
you,
the time
Pierre.
pass.
I am with
I
you,
mean-
Pierre.
I certainly like to pray. I didn't realize that was your thing, Pierre.
It's not.
You hear a man call out to one of the guards as he walks past their cells. He calls out, "Hey, when are we gonna get any food down here?" And the guard just ignores him and continues passing.
Oh, thank God we have our own
And
food.
and the man starts banging on the cell. He's like, "Hey, we're starving down here. At least give us some food." And you hear this is one of the men from the crew. And the guard stops and turns and walks back and goes, "You want something to eat? All right."
No.
And you hear him begin to unbuckle his pants
No, no.
as he throws his pants down and begins to piss. And the man, the crewman looks down in confusion. He's like, What are you? And the man begins to piss onto the crewman, who jumps away. But as his legs are, you see like he has like his legs are his legs are torn. His leggings are torn from just various cuts and scratches and one gash from the battle. As his legs are like quickly soaked in piss before he jumps back, and the guard just continues to piss on the ground, like in his cell, like on the bars, like cackling.
There's the George R.
That's
Martin.
quite disgusting.
Pierre. And Tariq's saying this quietly, but Pierre and Rogue, do we want to try for the keys today?
I mean, don't look at me. I'm not playing too much part in this plan.
I look at
How
Rogue.
well are you feeling, my friend? Do you want to? Are you feeling up to it?
I'm a little better than yesterday.
All right, let's give it a shot. Okay.
Are you gonna explain it?
Nope. I'm not gonna explain it. Are you two ready?
Yeah.
All right. I'm
Can't
gonna
wait
call
for this
out
to
to the
happen,
guard.
actually.
I'm gonna press my face against the cell. I'm gonna call out to the guard. Hey, pisser, you got something to share for us three? Where our mouths are wide open. Come here.
Fuck off,
You're just
Ben.
gonna be weirded out and just leave.
That's not
Oh my god.
I don't know how to respond to that. He as you say this, his stream comes to a stop as it slowly comes to a dribble,
So
and he
fucking
shakes his worm to get the last dribbles out before closing his pants up and approaching. he begins to storm over and he goes, "You think you're a funny guy, eh?" He walks up to the cell and goes, "You want me to unlock that and kick? Yeah, I could feed you if you'd like me to come inside."
I like how he changed his answer midway. He's like, I cannot come in there and unlock it. It's just.
And you see him. He reaches down and slightly unsheathes his sword and smiles at you.
My
What you
friend,
think
I'm
about-
not actually that hungry after all. I think all this ship has made my head all doozy and all over the place. Sorry for what I said, my friend. I have a question to ask you, if that's okay.
He squints his eyes, and he talks Kyra, and he's like, "What?"
My friend, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Road?
No. He shakes his head, confused, wondering if he's getting fucked with. He is not very close to the cell.
Oh, fuck.
He is not within reach. He's like standing around a yard away from the cell, like from the gate.
Well, you see, before I left my nice village in the south to become a ruthless, bloody, angry bandit, my friend Road, he gave me this cloth. It's very, very high quality. Come feel it. Come feel the cloth.
Roll fast talk -1.
Come on. Big money. No whammies, no whammies.
Oh yeah, I got it. It's on 14.
Okay.
Gee, enough for
He walks. He takes a step forward, and reaches out with his left hand and begins to feel the fabric. Is this actually a really good fabric?
Yes.
It is. Okay, cool.
Do you want me to roll something
where
for
this
that?
where this piece of
Okay.
fabric comes from, by the way.
It was a piece of clothing of a former acquaintance that was intended for it to be comforting.
Their state's like silk. Silk is really nice.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
To the touch.
Yeah, so he reaches out and feels it, and he looks down and he goes, okay. So yeah, he's feeling it. Tariq, roll a contest to pickpocket him. You're rolling
Yeah, I have to roll
pickpocket
for a-
plus
I'm
5.
rolling
He is
for-
distracted,
Rolling for a
He's-
15 right now.
and he's rolling
And-
perception.
Success by 5 or more.
Your hand reaches slightly. You're leaning against the cell, just like trying to be as inconspicuous as possible. You're holding your breath.
Wait,
You
excessive 5. No! Sorry, continue.
You're holding your breath and reaching out, being as inconspicuous as possible, reaching for the. You see the key jangling on his belt. You heard them jingle as he had taken his pants off and thrown them to the ground. You're slowly moving your hand through the cell to get to the key, but you realize you would fit your hand through like a square that didn't give you enough reach to get there. You're like just like a tenth of an inch away from being able to even touch the keys. So you have to take your hand out of that slot quickly and slowly insert it into the next one and sort of scoot yourself over a little bit, while Roke is talking to him and showing him the fabric and telling him about the man Road. And just continuing on with this story, and you reach out for the keys, and you see it's a little it's not even like a key ring, it's just a single key hanging on his belt, and you reach out and grab the key and slowly unhook it from his belt and quickly pull your hand back and tuck it into your sleeve.
That was too long of a narration. I really didn't like it.
I thought Susie failed at first.
And you go back to resting. Roke,
My friend, would you like
he
to
grasps
keep this?
he grasps the oh, you're gonna offer it to him to
Yeah,
keep?
I was gonna offer it to him, so that way he didn't get suspicious.
Yeah, okay, I say it.
I was
sorry.
gonna, my friend, would you like to keep this fine piece of fabric? I'm willing to part ways with it, since I will not be alive much longer after this.
He looks at you and he smiles and winks. He goes, "Ah, wise man." And he rips it away from your hands pretty roughly. And he looks down and he turns and walks away, and you see he slowly backs up. Man, I wish I had my GM cam on now. He slowly backs up and looks at you like sort of warily, and then down at the scarf and back up at you and down at the pink fabric, and walks away, and you see he tucks it into his belt where the key was,
Oh,
and he tucks it into his waistband, and it kind of like hangs off,
Don't notice, don't notice, don't notice. No.
and he continues to walk away as the fabric literally hangs off of like over where the key was, and he stuffs it in exactly there, and then walks away. He goes, "Thank you kindly," and he walks away laughing.
Tariq is like very silent, solemn, and pretending that he was unable to get the key, and then pulls it out from behind his ear.
I have a magic trick. Look
Yeah,
at
for real.
me.
okay, my plan worked.
Roke, that was marvelous work.
Thank you, my
I
friend.
hand the key to Pierre. That was incredible.
Pierre pockets the key. I enjoyed getting to watch that. You're a man of your word, quite literally.
I used to hang out a lot at the bars back in my hometown. I chatted up quite a bit with the other drinkers there.
Good thing I didn't grow up in the South. That you probably would have robbed me.
I was not always a robber, but could have happened.
What were you before a robber?
I was just simply a man. Trained with my uncle to become an expert swordsman. Grew up in my nice village, then moved on.
You hear a voice come from the cell next to Pierre and Roke and Tariq's cell. You hear the voice of the young man that's in the cell next to you. You hear him whisper. You like a psst, like hey.
Me?
Just towards your the direction of the cell.
What is it, lad?
You got a key, didn't you? We've been listening.
Fast talk his ass. Fast talk his ass.
I look to the eyes of Roke and Tariq to identify if we're like nodding or shaking our heads to this.
Tariq shakes his head.
I also shake my head.
No key. Just kind of chat him up. Hopefully he'll let us out at some point. Hey,
Right.
better than getting
Right.
pissed on.
Sure you didn't. Listen, whatever you have planned, whatever you're doing, we want in. We're willing to help. I'm sure that key works on our door as well. All the guards are carrying one key.
My friend, we have no key. My other friend here, his arm got stuck in the cell door and he couldn't quite reach far enough before he walked away.
Besides, if we did have a key, we wouldn't help the... Are these bandits, by the way?
Yes.
We wouldn't help scum like you. Good luck getting out.
He doesn't respond after that.
Have you seen them move any dead bodies, or they're all left to rot in cells, as far as I've seen?
You've not seen them move any
Hmm.
bodies,
There is a-
except for Horbin's. The only one they threw out was Horbin's.
Wait. You said that they threw Horbin out through a slit?
Yes,
Oh,
Where's
I
that?
Wait a minute.
Where's that slit?
in the wall.
Like, towards the end of the hall?
It's in the middle of the hall.
Oh,
Close to you.
like on the ground or on the wall?
Like in the wall.
Oh, shit.
You open up a hatch, it's kind of like a dog door. You
Oh,
open up a hatch
guys,
and you
that's
can-
our fucking
body
out.
can-
That's literally a hatch that leads to
we
the
can't
water.
swim.
Doesn't matter. Our chances are far fucking much better.
Yeah.
My
Mhm.
friends, I think it would be unwise to leave the ship without any of our equipment, any of our weapons.
No, it's better to leave without weapons than be murdered, is what I say.
I'm
I
with
am not
Junie on
leaving the
this one.
ship without my rapier.
Well, you can go grab it yourself then.
What
I would
about your
offer
friend
to
in the other
search-
cell? Would he leave without his weapon?
Graham?
You can always buy another halberd.
Yeah, I mean, I would... I would rather slip out with a guaranteed chance of success than go try to get my halberd back.
If I was in better health, I would offer to take a look around and see what I could sneak with, but I just don't think I can do it. And there are things that are very dear to me that I don't have right now, but know what I can do.
It's not so simple as that. Shall I tell you a tale?
Perhaps.
No.
Mhm.
Something
Yes.
to pass the time while we wait for the light to dim down.
Please do.
This is one my father used to tell me when I was younger. Something that I didn't quite understand until I was a little bit older. But he used to tell me this story. It was like this. Ages ago.
Our YouTube is being a bitch.
Shut the fuck up! No. You can unmute it. I don't care that much. Ages ago, just a few hours before sunrise, there was this lone soldier amongst the bodies and blood of her fallen comrades. Just standing, motionless, covered in gashes and blood, her armor torn and broken. Her blank eyes stared into the dirt below her, her hand loosely holding the handle of her rapier. As day broke, it was reasonable that the approaching enemy lines had no fear. It's just one soldier. As told in the tale, she had fought until dawn, and not a single enemy could take her life. As day broke, she once again stood motionless as the sun bathed the fields amongst the corpses of thousands of men. Blood running down her forehead into her eyes, death just looming over her shoulder. She stood quiet and calm. Her knees began to buckle, and her vision became black. She fell to the dirt. She struggled to get up. She raised her gaze and wiped the blood from her eyes to see a towering set of red doors above her. Voices screaming and calling, their chants inviting and warm. She began to smile weakly, hearing the voices of her comrades and her friends, inviting her to come rest with them, for she had done well. She pulled herself to her knees and looked down at the rapier in her hand. Her life had not been meaningless. She had fought to protect the one she loved and could finally rest at the end of her battle. She raised her gaze to the sun, rising on the horizon, and a tear began to fall from her eye. In the distance, she saw another, even bigger line of enemy troops approaching slowly, larger than the last. She looked down at her blade once more. She raised it to her lips and closed her eyes, whispering into its hilt. She whispered its name. Fjallraven. I have fought so hard. I have watched my friends and comrades fall dead next to me. Their lifeless bodies and pale eyes haunt me. I no longer have the will or strength to protect the children, fathers, and mothers that are depending on me. Please give me strength one last time. She grasped the handle tightly. She felt the surge of purpose flow through her. She brought herself to her feet for one final battle. You see, my father used to tell me this story. And he used to show me the rapier that he owned. He told me, this is your rapier one day. This would be yours. And it was passed down by generation to generation, from father to son, mother to daughter. It will be yours one day. One day you will wield it, and one day you will serve a greater purpose to the world. And one day, I woke up. It was next to me at my bed, and my father never returned. That rapier means life to me. It means everything to me, because it's the only thing I have left. So if you will not come with me, I will either stay here and get it myself, or, as I'm thinking now, I may go with you, come back later to see if I can come get it. But I will not go further without that.
All I know is I will leave you wherever you're. I've been told by something far higher that you're meant to be on this journey with me. And I will not let you do what you need alone.
Pierre takes off a ring. It's on his hand. And kind of projects it in his hand. This belongs to a friend of ours. She's a very nice person. Unfortunately, she's no longer with us. I'd feel the exact same way if this was missing, and I knew it was on this ship. Pierre puts the ring back on. We'll come back for it. I promise.
I'm kind of just Roke kind of just moves back to the wall, kind of just leans against it. It's kind of silent.
Good fucking roleplay.
So you finish the story. You guys are talking, and you're sitting. As time is passing, and the soldier from before returns.
Oh no.
Okay, so he approaches the cell, trying to look nonchalant as he stands nearby the cell, and yeah. So he walks up to Junia's cell, and he stands nearby, and he stands with his back to the wall, like in between both cells, and you see he has like a porcelain cup in his hand with steaming liquid coming from it, and he's sipping at it, trying to look nonchalant as he talks, looking away from you guys, and he talks to towards Junia's cell, and he goes, "How are you?"
I've been better, that's for sure, but not as bad as yesterday. What time is it out there?
It's around noon. I just finished up lunch. I've been assigned to guard the brig for a little while.
Yeah, I've definitely been worse, that's for sure. How long you got?
There's been rumor that some of the crew have been saying that they were carrying the prophecy on the boat.
Fuck.
Tariq audibly goes, "Fuck! You've caught us red-handed."
No.
Yeah, I know.
Really? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Then again, I was at the lower decks.
I guess. Yeah, me and some of the boys were talking about it, and I mean, last we had heard, they were in the north, traveling westward. I don't see why they would be sailing down the Dänemark. So we think it's just a rumor.
Fair enough.
You were on the ship, though. What do you?
I mean,
Do
we
you,
stopped. I think people were just trying to save their skin, really. I mean, what better way to try to save yourself than to say the prophecy was with you?
Oh. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Especially now that, I mean, this is the most. I mean, even my parents think that this prophecy is a real one. I was visiting them before I was assigned to the ship, so.
What is Graham's
there's
reaction?
There's a lot of hope.
To be talking like that.
He's sitting, doing his thing. He's just showing no emotion.
Pierre.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna turn to Pierre. Or Roke's gonna turn to Pierre. Kind of quietly say.
As Junior and your guy are chit-chatting.
No, I'm not gonna say womp. What am I trying to think of? I'll roll a fast talk now. Say, Pierre.
Mm-hmm.
Want to go with our plan, or you want to go with this plan I just thought of in like 2 seconds?
Okay. Describe the plan very quickly to me.
I, as part of the bandits, might be able to convince this guard to bring me to his higher-ups and tell him. I could tell the higher-ups that I know where the prophecy people were taken. That might buy us more time when we get to the village.
I feel like this is not a good idea.
Okay, good. We won't do it.
Really? Your parents talked about it? Hmm?
Yeah,
How far?
there's a lot of hope, but they also believed there was a big fake prophecy several decades ago before I was even born, when they were young, when they first met, that they also thought they actually met them, and they really thought they were real as well.
So, do you have anything that'd be helpful for our situation? Or if not, that's all right. I understand.
Wait a second. He says, so are you saying that you weren't carrying the prophecy on the ship?
Give me a second. I'm gonna roll a mental 1d2.
Oh,
Mental 1d. Flip a mental
fine.
coin. Flip a mental coin.
Yeah, it's
oh,
a mental coin.
No.
Alright, so.
I'm scared.
One is a
Oh,
no.
is that a disadvantage that you gave yourself?
Yes.
I always forget that.
Yeah.
Is that indecisive or?
No,
No,
it's
June here flips a coin.
Oh.
You don't have a coin to flip, though.
I do have coins to flip.
Oh, right, you have your bag. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember.
He asks that, and he's going to see you flip a coin.
Yeah, it's fine. That's why I said a mental 1d2, like the figurative thing.
That's not how flipping
Shut
a
up.
coin works.
Gosh. All right, fair enough.
Physics engine in my brain, flip coin. You have to physically flip a coin.
As far as I remember, sorry, I was thinking if anyone resembled them, but I don't remember seeing anyone with like doctor outfits or anything there.
Nope, no one at all.
So I don't think so.
Pierre says.
As far as I know. Maybe we did, but it was unbeknownst to me then. Quoi? Mets ça une minute, puis comme 47 secondes.
I'm gonna
environ.
carrot. 5 minutes? What are you doing to a carrot? What the fuck?
In 5
My
minutes.
sister was asking how long to put the popcorn in the microwave because I know the exact time for like the most optimal thing.
2
And I said a
minutes
minute
and
47.
57 seconds.
Years of practice and theory and
He's doing it until there's
experimentation.
10
No, I'm the only one
minutes
who uses the microwave these
Oh, you-
days.
Yeah.
So I know how good. Anyways. It's a new microwave, so we aren't used to it.
Okay.
Anyways. I told him no, I forgot exactly what my words were. Fuck. What
You
was
told him
I saying?
There's no one on the ship. You were just finishing.
Yeah, as far as memory serves, there's no one that resembles them that I can think of.
Yeah, I guess they really are lying. And he just continues to sip at the mystery steaming liquid in his cup. He's
See,
holding
the
a
thing-
little. He's holding the cup on the little plate as well.
See,
Like
this
a
is
ceramic
this is my internal monologue to myself right now. The problem is we already have an escape plan now. If we try to modify it to have like him help us, it could be useful, but also it could mess it all up.
Other
Even
characters
though-
can't talk to you about it right now.
I
so
know,
it's all for you,
I'm
baby.
talking to myself right now.
Yeah.
I'm technically
I'm saying that so that
can-
they don't
can
like
hear the
tell you what to do.
conversation. But yeah.
All I know is right now Tariq is really regretting saying that he wouldn't worry about it and do it later when it was brought up that ears are still visible. There was a conversation between Jack and I when I was getting the mask that was like, well, your hair's still there. And I was like, yeah, but like, who's gonna notice that? Now I'm like, oh no.
Okay, fair enough. Are we stopping by Penrite?
No, we already passed it.
Oh, fuck.
Oh fuck! It's noon.
We didn't even
Okay.
take a stop.
It really must be in a hurry.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the captain's first big mission. He wants success.
I can't ask him for weapons. I'm talking to myself here. I can't ask him for weapons because that would give him the impression that we are trying to escape. I can't ask him where the weapons are because that would also give him the impression that we have a plan to escape. I'm going to ask him, how long do you think we will arrive at our next destination?
You mean Blyson?
Yes.
Say less than a week. With
Less than
the
a week.
pace that we're on, with the wind we've caught, and the current.
All right. Would you do me a favor, my young guard? Would you be able to come and notify us when we're about to arrive? I think it would be nice to have some final moments of peace before we leave the ship.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I can do that. I mean, no promises. I can't always be down here. Like, I can only really be down here when I'm assigned to be down here, or if I have free time. But you know, we're not really
As soon
supposed
as
to.
you can.
It's
Next
suspicious for a
time-
guard to come down to the brig on his free time.
Mhm.
Anyone want to say anything else to the guard?
I was
Jack-
gonna ask.
Oh, sorry.
You go. You can ask your thing. Susie first to Jack.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to word it.
I don't really have a skill for this, so feel free to say no. But
No.
talking about his parents and referencing the prophecy, was there an appearance that he was pro or con based on his parents' conversation? Like, was it like a, oh, this real, or was it like a, oh, this, like, is there any sense of impression from this of where he might land?
Pierre, do you want to roll psychology? Pierre?
I rolled a 4. Yeah.
Oh, 4?
I was muted.
He sounds like... Okay, so... You're listening to him. He's talking with his parents. The way he's talking about his parents, it sounds like he is close with his parents. First of all.
Gay.
Very close with them. I mean, as soon as he was on leave, he wasn't, it didn't sound like he was, like, drinking or going to a brothel or doing any other work or anything. It sounds like, by the way he was talking about it, he immediately went and visited with his parents. He's not living on his own or anything. So it sounds close to them. It sounds like he cares about them and respects them. Second of all, it sounds like they love the prophecy and adore it and adore the God Emperor and trying to bring him back. Hence, that influence has probably, that perspective has probably influenced his own perspective on it. And just listening from how he was talking about it, he specifically described that there's lots of hope right now about the prophecy because this is the most buzz there's been about the prophecy since the last big one that his parents had met. And so, in conclusion, yes. He sounds like he is pro-prophecy.
Can I convey that to the party? Sorry, I have a massive headache right now.
You could convey it to Tariq and Roke.
I'm going to tell Roke and Tariq that I think he's really pro-prophecy and that we may stand better odds if we tell him the truth. Secretly, though, don't say it out loud.
To be more specific, he's not necessarily super devoted, or he's not a crazy fanboy stan, like Prophecy stan, but he is certainly pro Prophecy and pro Madharari and whatnot.
Okay.
I think that what I really needed out of this was Tariq won't reveal anything, but should wrong, this is possibly someone to look to. Should things get revealed, this might be a resource. I guess was really just kind of the main goal of that question.
Yeah, Junior is avoiding revealing anything because she doesn't know his opinion on her. Do you and Roke
and Pierre want to talk about this?
Yeah, you three would be Pierre, Roke, and Tariq.
I'm gonna want to talk while Tariq's not gonna want to talk while the guard's near just because of accent stuff. Like Tariq,
you guys are not looking
right now.
I think if we tell the god now that we are in the prophecy, we stand more to gain than if we were to not.
Do you believe he would help us?
If anyone here would, I think he would. I think if you want a good shot at getting your rapier, we tell this man we're in the prophecy, we need a couple things to get out of here. He will turn to his blind eye and maybe also get your rapier. We just have to be very informative with this knowledge we have and try to get as much material and supply, specifically Roke's rapier, as we can. We have to take advantage of this. We can't let this one, chess piece that we have in this whole thing, other than the key, disappear into the wind.
I can't say it doesn't scare me, but it's the sharing of this information and confirming it, should he not believe it.
The worst thing that can happen is he doesn't believe us and doesn't do anything about it.
Yeah. So Tariq isn't going to be the one to say it, but should he not believe it, Tariq will show and tell.
Perfect.
Hey, I'm black.
Hey, I'm Western. Hey, I'm Southern. Hey, I'm Northern.
But I'll let Pierre Roque handle this one. They're the
Is Junia still talking to the guard?
Yes.
I'm gonna pipe down until she finishes talking.
No, it's just chit chat, just pauses in between.
All right.
That's what I meant.
Pierre kind of knocks on the steel bar casing on the door to get the guard's attention.
He turns and looks at you for a second, and then looks away and sips at his tea and goes, "Yeah, I spoiled that it's tea."
Could you remind me of your name again, good sir?
Jacob.
Jacob.
And you? I guess I realize I don't really know your names.
Lovely to meet you. My name's Pierre. That beside me is Tariq. And over there on the other side of the corner is Roke.
He turns to you and says, "You have a strange accent for a northerner."
Ha! Because I'm not a northerner. In fact, I was born in Penrite, on the east side. There's something I'm about to tell you that you're not going to believe at first. I just need you to bear with me until I finish talking. You understand?
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what my friend Junia has been telling you. I've been dazing in and out and having conversations on this end, but us five, although we were members of the ship, not the bandit parade, that wasn't all we were. In fact, we were the cargo on that ship. We were being escorted. Us five, we're all from different places in Eslandry. I'm from the east. The big man in there with who wore the big armor and the halberd, he's from the north. I'm sure you caught his accent was perfectly aligning with Junia's story. Junia in there, has a western accent. She's from the west. And my friend here, Tariq, that name already might sound a bit odd. Well,
Tariq is sweating so much right now.
He's not Eslandrian. He's Westerland. And Rogue is south. So, I don't know if you know, I don't know if that's already putting the pieces together for you, but let me tell you this very quietly. We have been traveling ever since the Grey Wolf Tavern, and we've made it very close. And this is the first part where I'm genuinely worried we won't make it. But fortunately, the gods put you here. You, of all people, you from your line and your blood, have landed right where you needed to be. And fortunately, you've ended up right where I need you to be. We need you to be. And I need you to believe me when I say we are the prophecy of God Emperor Madhar Re. And I desperately ask of you and beg to aid us in finishing our journey.
Well, after he's done saying that, Gina has a little sigh and says, "I'm sorry for lying. I didn't want to take any risks."
So the entire time he's looking straight ahead, and you see he is unblinking as he's holding his cup of liquid that may or may not be tea. Pierre, roll diplomacy with an unknown modifier.
The
modifier is like.
Tell me what your
-7.
diplomacy level though is.
Secretly
It's
an
like
assassin.
off by 1. I have a level 12. I rolled a 13.
He's staring forward, and you say this, and he wordlessly walks down the hallway, his boots clinking on the wood, as he walks to the stairs and walks up the stairs, up into the ship.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
We weren't able to get in the part about the assassins.
It's okay. We don't know if it's bad news, and
Oh.
if he if he takes too long, or we start to change our judgment, we have our key right here. We can take our chance and we can immediately fight our way out of here. Me and Graham are strong enough to put up a good fight, and if push came to shove, I don't mind unlocking those bandits and throwing them to the wolves. Right now, we play the waiting game, gentlemen. Just try to keep resting, and I need you all in best health, and I need someone to remain healthy enough to help Tariq when we hit water.
You guys hear some commotion down at the other end of the hallway as you hear, "Hey, hey," and you recognize it's the same voice that called out earlier, asking for food. I got pissed on.
Oh, yes.
No, he's not calling out to you. He's like down at the end of the hallway. Oh, okay. and he's calling out, and anyone who bothers to look sees that the same guard that's now identified with the pink piece of fabric hanging off of his belt is standing near the cell, and you see as he walks by, he's being called over by the same guy, and he walks over. The guard walks over and goes, "Come back for more, eh?" And you hear him go, "No, this time we're feeding you." And you don't see where it comes from, but you just hear the sound of some sludge sloshing against his face as a mixture of piss and shit is thrown into his face and all over the chest of his armor, presumably from their bucket. The guard is covered, and you see him wipe his mouth and then face with you see he reaches down and he takes out the pink piece of fabric and uses it to wipe his face. And looks at it and goes, "That's a shame." And you see he tosses it to the ground, and you see he stares at him angrily and goes, "You're gonna regret that." And you see he reaches down for his belt to where his key was, and he starts patting his belt, and he looks down frantically,
here we
patting
go
where
again.
the key was, and he starts looking around. And he goes, and he stands there and he feigns a smile and goes, and then just wordlessly quickly turns and walks toward the staircase and goes up the stairs.
Worst case scenario, they have to open the cell to get to us.
All is happening wrong.
Let's set an oil file and break out of here.
Yeah, if they ever come in the cell to kill you guys, you can just set the cell on fire.
The outside of it, and then you just go for the trap.
That's Plan Z.
Door.
Plan Z. I got the plan set from A to Z. Z's the most diabolical.
Hooray.
Okay, so you guys are waiting around. Hours pass.
Hours.
At least it feels like hours. You're just sitting around with nothing to do. And eventually, Jacob the guard returns down the stairs. And you see he frantically approaches, and he approaches and leans in and says, he leans in, or he frantically approaches to the space in between the cells that he was standing before and stands there again. And he leans towards the cell of Pierre and Tariq and Roke and says, "Look, I've and it's felt like at least 3 hours have passed. And he leans in and goes, "Look, I know what you're doing is more important than me, and that it's greater than me. So I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help you."
You're a wonderful man. Truly.
I can let out a sigh of relief.
No words can describe how helpful and how grateful we are for you.
I only have the key for the cell, for the cell with the. He turns and looks. Well, what's your name? He turns to Junia.
Name's Junior.
I only have the key for the cell to Junia. Each guard only has a key assigned to one cell.
Oh, shit. Pierre exposes the key that Tariq stole off the guard. This does not go to our cell.
I don't know.
Try it.
We have not had a guard that. I mean, yeah, I'll try.
And he did say that he wanted to get in there. So.
You try, and it does not fit to the cell. It does not fit to the lock.
I'm gonna pocket the key. Alright, new plan.
He leans in and goes, "There's 2 copies of each key. Each guard usually only carries 1 key or a couple keys for just a few of the cells. Or is assigned a few of the cells to watch over and have access to." He turns to you and says, "I have an idea for how to get your key. If one of you spat on me right now, so that all the other guards saw, and I could go up and ask for the key to your cell to discipline you. But then I would get the key. I would have to return it, so..."
And that's when we swap keys.
Yeah,
well,
that's when you could use the big key.
Okay. He hands the key back. Okay, it might work. I might If I do this, though, I will need to discipline you.
Pierre looks at himself in his healthy condition compared to Roke and Tariq. Let me spit on you and take all you want out on me. I'm alright. I'll be fine.
Are you sure, Pierre?
I'd rather it be me than you two. You two are in horrible shape right now. Also, I don't buy that in your condition. Jacob would even reasonably bother with beating you to a pulp.
Well,
Yeah, you guys are still like struggling to stand and shit. Especially Tariq, your right leg is bad.
yeah, my leg's
Yeah.
fucked. At least I can grab shit.
Just one more thing, before we do this. Do you where do you keep confiscated items?
I don't really know, but I can find out. Do you need anything?
Ideally, yes. There's a very important rapier that belongs to one of us that we need. And it's small
Okay.
enough to hide, so it's not a big deal if to conceal. In cell, out of cell.
I can look for it in case. Is there any like signifying features in case there's multiple rapiers?
Hilt is a bright blue color.
Okay.
God, that's so obvious.
Something else maybe worth noting, I don't know if it mention it, is in my bag there is Westerling clothing and items signal that we are here. They haven't been noticed yet. Those could be a problem if they are rummaged through.
Weren't the bags left on the ship?
You
Were the
don't know.
bags left on the ship?
You don't
Yes.
know.
Oh, you don't know. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that if they haven't been found already, I do have Westerling things in my bag that if anyone can different culture, that could be a very clear sign that we are here.
I'll go look for the rapier now, and I'll return. And he returns the key to you, and then he heads upstairs. And as he's leaving, one of the guards like walks up and stops him, and goes like, "Jacob, you just left. You can't like what's going on, buddy?" And he looks at him and goes, "A man's got to shit, but a man's got to shit," and shrugs and smiles. And the guard that had put his hand on his chest just looks down and kind of laughs and like, "All right," and lets him up. And Jacob walks past him and goes up the stairs. It feels like it's been at least half an hour, if not an hour, since he left.
You left for an hour. Fuck.
But you really have no idea how long it's been. He comes back down, and the guard walks up to him and is like, "Hey, Jacob, sounds like you. It seemed like you were having a rough time up there. That was like you were gone for a while." And Jacob just nervously laughs. It's like, "Yeah, you know how it is." And like bumps him on the shoulder, and walks back to his post that he's been standing at between your two cells. And you see he's carrying, well,
A bomb.
he's carrying like a wrapped long piece of cloth as he walks up to the cell, and he slides the cloth through one of the slots, like in the cell, like with the bars. Does someone other than me narrate something? Talk.
Okay.
Roke steps or kind of moves forward a bit and grabs the cloth and brings it to the back of the cell and begins to unwrap it. What does he find?
You unwrap it. Inside is a long turd. No,
It really hurt.
You see Fjallraven lying in the cloth. Do you have a reference image for Fjallraven?
Actually, no, I haven't thought about that.
Okay. If you
It's
find
like
one or make one or something,
Yeah.
you can send it. If you want to describe it to them, go ahead. Because I don't know
It's
what
like
it
a
looks
rapier, but like the blue, the hilt is like a very bright blue. It's like very shiny. And then the blade is just kind of like a normal, it has kind of like a blue tint to it.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I kind of just, Roke.
It
kinda
certainly
sighs
looks
in
different
relief
from a
and
normal
relaxes
rapier.
his shoulder as he unwraps it and sees what it is.
Like, just looking at it, you can tell that it's sharper. And there's just something about it. It just emanates like this is something unique, this is something different. You can just feel it in your bones when you look at it. That it's something special.
He gets flash short sword and it's very sad.
Where'd you lose that again?
Lost it when they took my weapons.
Oh, okay. Yo, you see, you had it. Yeah, yeah. That's never coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still,
So
getting a weapon was too dangerous.
Jacob then begins to start patrolling in front of the cells, slowly walking, like dramatically slowly, like walking in between the cells, one foot in one of the other.
No, I'm gonna spit at him, like, very viciously.
So he's patrolling in front of the cell. So you call out to him and spit on his boot, and he turns to you, and he turns to you and scowls and goes, "Filthy bandit! I'll show you for doing that." And he storms towards the stairs, and he makes this whole like dramatic scene of it, like yelling it really loud to make sure all the guards are paying attention. And he walks over to one of the other guards and like taps him on the back and like leans in and whispers to him, and then walks up the stairs. And then a few minutes, 2 minutes go by, and he returns back down the stairs. While you're all just sitting here like waiting anxiously, and he returns to the cell. And inserts the key. He walks over. A guard comes towards the cell with him. He approaches the cell with the guard that he had patted earlier, and takes the key, unlocks the cell door, opens it, and stands in and unsheathes his sword and points it at the three of you, mainly at Pierre because Roke and Tariq are on the ground, still reeling in pain. And he points it at Pierre. And slowly, walks forward, pointing the tip of the blade like towards Pierre's neck, backing Pierre up into the wall. And then he pulls the sword back and he charges forward and slams the butt of the sword like into your gut, like right into your abdomen, and knocks the wind out of you. You receive 1 damage.
It's funny because it's not a lot, but it would put multiple of us down.
And so yeah, he slams the butt of the and you can feel it like squish into your abdomen and like into your like abdominal muscles as you like squeeze against the wall as he like shoves the butt of the hilt of the sword into you with a significant amount of force, and leaves you like gasping for air, like holding against the wall, like trying to maintain standing. And then he spits on your shoe, and
I swapped the keys while this is happening.
Oh. You see he has dropped the key on the floor in the commotion. Okay. And
perfect.
Yeah, he's dropped the key on the floor, and he spits on Pierre's shoe, and now he's standing looking at Pierre, like looking Pierre in the eyes.
Can we swap the keys on the floor?
How about this?
Roll
Oh, never mind.
do you have sleight of hand?
Wait,
I
can I do
have
something?
I have stealth and pickpocket.
Pickpocket -1. You're rolling filch. The default is pickpocket -4, but because he's distracted, you have a +3.
And I have a -1 because of nightmare, so I have to roll for an 8.
Holy fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you +5 because they're very distracted. Okay, you would have gotten yours. Okay, yeah, so that was a lucky roll. Because even then, 10 is a 50-50.
Yeah.
You're like lying on the floor near Pierre while this is happening, and when he drops the key down, you swap the keys. Mm-hmm. And when he's staring at Pierre, he glances down, and sees you do this, and he stares at him again and says, "Think twice before you spit on one of us, filthy bandit." And then he bends down quickly and picks up the key, and then gives Pierre one more like stern look, and then turns and leaves the cell, closes the door, puts the key in, and like really covers it like with his body and his hand, and pretends to lock it.
Oh, so our cell's unlocked.
And then takes the key and leaves.
What now?
Bye-bye, ship. Bye-bye, ocean.
Do we just wait till night?
So you're waiting. Okay, so you're waiting till nightfall. Okay, so many hours pass until the guards put the torches and like lanterns on the wall. They put them out, like their own torches, and start patrolling with their own torches. There's like 4 guards out, presumably at night, including Jacob is here.
Oh, that's lucky.
Actually, there's 5. There's 4 guards and there's Jacob. And Jacob's he's patrolling. The guards when they're walking, they occasionally like hold the torch up to the cells to like look inside the cell, and then walk by. He's been patrolling in front of your cell, just back and forth, like kind of keeping it as his territory. So none of the other guards are really approaching you guys.
That guy's fucked after we escape. I feel so bad for him.
Oh yeah, no, he's fucking.
So where are the guards other than Jacob? So I can get an idea.
Dispersed throughout the hallway. There's 2 at the far end of the hallway near. Well, there's 4. Yeah, there's 2 to the left of you. 1 at the far end of the hallway by the stairs. And I mean, would you like me to open up paint and draw?
No, I can do this with theater of mind. I just want to know yardage. How far are they from like to the left of Junia's cell and then to the right of ours? Also, where is the hatch in coordination from our cell? That would be helpful to know.
1 guard is around 20 yards away.
To the right of my cell, to the left of Junia's?
To the left and to the right.
Okay.
And then another guard is 40 yards away, 40 to 50 yards away, to the left and to the right.
Okay.
And then Jacob's kind of in the middle, where you guys are. When we get out of the cell, I'm going to leave Wardstone behind. And I can carry Tariq and throw him through the slot and jump in after and help him swim and bring him to shore. Beyond that, I think maybe in terms of order of jumping out, I don't know if it really matters. I think maybe Roke first. Roke's arms are crippled, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I can probably
That
keep
makes
surface.
You don't
swim
feel
with
very
legs.
confident in your ability to swim, Roke. You can't
Jack.
really use your
Actually, I
arm.
do want to say. Wait, you also
Huh.
did swim team. Wait, you also did swim, Jack.
No, yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible. Like, you can swim with just your legs.
Yeah, like I
In a-
could tread
in a
water
raging-
for like 10 minutes with just my legs. Like,
I think.
But it would be very hard to swim 100 yards through a river.
what's
with
that?
just legs.
300 feet? Yeah, that's true.
And you see Graham slowly unclasp all the buckles to his chest plate and take it off.
I'm
And
gonna help him take it off so it doesn't make a sound.
he doesn't want any help. You walk up and he puts his hand
No.
up and goes, no.
No. He's just gonna fall and make it. Oh, no.
It's so sad he has to leave behind his armor.
And he slowly he sets it on the ground and he's on his knees and he looks down on it and he says and he looks down and you can't really see him in the darkness, Junia, but you hear him say, every day that passes, the memory of House Honored is lost more and more. And then he stands up and you hear him stand and say, okay, I'm ready to go when you are.
I motion to Jacob. I'll try to grab towards him and then point to the gate, to the cell next to us.
Okay, he sees your hand poke out out of the cell and point towards Junia's cell and pull back. And you see him look up and you see a sorrowful look in his eyes. And you see his skin turns pale. And you can just tell his heart is pumping. He's afraid. And he closes his eyes and lowers his head for a second, in a sorrowful, dignified nod, and then walks up to the cell, to Junia's cell, and moves the torch over to his left hand and reaches down and unbuckles the key. Junia and Graham, you're standing at the gate at the ready. He inserts the key and opens the lock and quickly opens it and whispers, "Go, go, go."
And our
was the
cell's
plan?
unlocked, right? It was never relocked.
Yeah, your cell's unlocked. You can just open the door. So, it was Roke first, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, Roke. Do you know what the stealth skill is? Because I don't. Do you have it?
Nope.
Cool.
I'm just
No.
gonna- it's the door up. I'm just gonna jump right through.
You want me to pull up? It's a DX average, so that means it's DX5 or IQ5.
Yeah. What's higher, your DX or IQ, Ben?
DX.
Okay. Roll. Dexterity -3.
I missed by 6.
It's the X-Men.
Oh, what'd you?
Great start.
Roke
Great start.
immediately starts darting towards the slit, and is like is beyond speed walking, and his footwear is making noise on the wooden planks as he darts towards it and dives out of the slit into whatever awaits outside. You guys are actually just beached on land. You're stuck, and you just slap against rocks.
Do we hear a splash? Like, is it water?
No, you don't know.
Okay.
You do hear water outside of the boat, and the boat is like creaking and rocking. Yeah, you see him wordlessly jump out of the slit. And you hear what was that? As the guard to the right turns with his torch and starts aggressively walking towards as you guys are running out. Who is next in the order?
Me.
Okay. Roll IQ -5.
Bet.
Unless you somehow got 13 dexterity. Oh, sorry, minus. Well, yeah, actually, it would be minus. Since he's alerted. Yeah, minus 5.
-5, okay.
-4.
-4, so that's a 9. 6 out of 9. 6 out of 3.
Pierre silently. He saw how fast Roke went, and you're going a lot slower to make sure that, and really emphasizing on your feet being as quiet as possible. You make a few creaks in the like the wood naturally creaks from you walking on it, like the wooden planks, but it blends in with the creaking of the wood all around as the boat is swaying with the current, and you silently dive out with your bag in hand. I think it was Tariq next, right?
It's Junia.
Oh yeah, Tariq's last with okay, Junia.
What?
Roll
Oh, yeah, right.
dexterity -4.
No, I have the sneak skill.
Oh, you have stealth? Roll stealth.
Yeah, it's stealth. I succeed.
Junia is silent,
5.
silent as a shadow, as she ducks low, darts silently and quickly, like a serpent in the grass, to the slit, to like the flap, and opens it up and dives out silently.
I have
Tariq,
fairly
you
good
can't
stealth.
move. But Graham's carrying you though.
Oh, okay. We're not. Okay, I'm not even walking out. Okay.
The last two are just going in.
You limp out, and Graham walks over and deftly takes both of his hands and just swoops you up as if you weigh nothing. And he
Okay. Jack's like, actually, let me roll.
and he darts over to the slit in the wall. When he gets there, you hear a hey, and you see that the man who's been walking over is now around 10 yards away, and he starts sprinting over as fast as he can. And and all you hear is the hey, and you hear the stomps of the footsteps as he's getting closer, as you see the light getting closer and closer of his torch, and you feel yourself thrown out of the slit and begin to fall.
Okay.
And we wait for Graham.
Jacob then runs past Graham and he actually no, the man's so far away. Jacob's all good. At least as far as you know. The man approaches but cannot get there in time as Graham fits through the slit and falls out. So as all of you fall, you're falling and falling in silence as you can just feel and hear the cold of the water. You know, like just instance before you land in the water, you can feel like little droplets of freezing water ping against your skin from like the current crashing against itself, and then each of you crash one by one into the waves, and you're instantly sink into the depths of the Dänemark, into the empty black abyss that is this river. The water is freezing cold at night.